We hear this all the time, right? Creative thinking is the key to innovation. But what does that actually mean? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into that. We're going to break down how you can literally become an architect of innovation just by learning how to think differently about the challenges in front of you.
I mean, you've been there, right? We all have. You're just staring at a problem, feeling totally, completely blocked. It's like you're just hitting your head against a brick wall again and again.
So here's the secret. The breakthrough you're searching for, it's not going to come from thinking harder. It's going to come from thinking differently. It's a total shift in perspective, a complete change in your approach.
But to get there, we've got to understand what we're usually up against: our own brains. Let's talk about why our default mode, our usual go-to way of thinking, just isn't always enough, especially when things get really tricky.
Okay, so check this out. Routine thinking, that's like driving on a perfectly paved highway. It's super efficient, it's reliable, you know exactly where you're going. But creative thinking, well, that's like going off-road. It's about looking at that highway and asking, wait, is this even going in the right direction? It's about exploring all those little side roads and dirt paths to see where they lead.
So what's actually happening inside your head when you're doing this? It's not just sitting there waiting for a spark. No way. Your brain is actively working, forging brand new pathways, making these wild, unusual connections between things that you never thought were related. That's the mental heavy lifting that leads to that aha moment.
And this brings us to maybe the most important point. Creativity is not some kind of magic power that only a few special people are born with. Not at all. It's a mindset. It's a collection of habits and traits that literally anyone can develop with a little practice.
So what does that look like? Well, think about it. Are you always asking why? That's curiosity. Can you step into someone else's shoes and really see their point of view? That's flexibility. And hey, are you willing to try something that might totally bomb? That's being a risk taker. The cool thing is, these aren't personality traits set in stone. They're like muscles. The more you use them, the stronger they get. Now, let's be real for a second. This isn't just about coming up with crazy, off-the-wall ideas for the sake of it. As this quote points out, the best creative thinking combines that wild imagination with good old-fashioned logical reasoning. See, the goal isn't just to be weird or different. It's to find solutions that actually work in the real world. Okay, so we've got the mindset down. Now for the really fun stuff, the practical tools. Let's crack open this creative toolkit and see what you can pull out next time you're feeling stuck. You know, it might sound a little counterintuitive, but creativity actually loves structure. A process like this is your best friend. First, you have to dig deep and really understand the problem, not just skim the surface. Then, and this is the fun part, you generate a ton of possible solutions. Think of it like a sandbox, just play. Only after you have all those ideas do you start to evaluate them and pick the winner. You have to keep those stages separate. It's crucial for giving your ideas some room to breathe before you start judging them.
And inside that process, you've got specific techniques you can use. Think of them like different bits for a power drill. You've got brainstorming for just getting a flood of ideas out. Mind mapping is awesome for seeing how they all connect. Or you could try something like reverse thinking, which is wild. You actually ask, how could I make this problem worse? It gives you a totally new angle. And then there's a handy one called Scamper, which is basically a checklist for tweaking existing ideas.
Let's zoom in on the one everyone knows, brainstorming. There is one golden rule here, and you cannot break it. No judgment. None. At this stage, it is all about quantity, not quality. Just get everything out there. Because you never know, that one idea that sounds totally bonkers at first might just be the seed of something brilliant.
Okay, that's enough theory. Let's see how this stuff actually works. We're going to take these tools and put them to the test on a real-world, everyday problem. So here's our challenge. Picture a classroom where student participation is super low. You know the sound, crickets. The routine approach is for the teacher to just say, come on guys, participate more. Which, yeah, we all know that doesn't really work. It's a classic stuck problem, which makes it perfect for a creative approach.
So the first thing we do is reframe it. Instead of focusing on the problem, low participation, let's focus on a creative goal. How can we make learning more engaging? Do you feel that shift? Right away, you're thinking about possibilities, not just dwelling on the negative.
Okay, step one, brainstorm. And the only rule is there are no bad ideas. So let's go. What if we gamified the lessons? Or used examples from movies and video games? What if we let the students teach each other for a day? Turn the whole semester into a big quest? See? Right now, we're just throwing paint at the wall.
generating all that raw material we can work with later.
So, let's pull all of this together. What's the big takeaway here? First off, creative thinking is a skill. You can learn it, you can practice it, and you can definitely get better at it. It all starts with that mindset, being curious, being flexible. And then you can supercharge it with simple, structured techniques. And remember, this isn't just for artists, this is for everyone.
And that pretty much wraps it up. You now have the mindset, you have a framework, and you have a toolkit for thinking differently. So there's really only one question left. What problem are you going to solve creatively?